Today we are discussing U to UE stem changing verbs. Now, the reason why is to conjugate the verb jugar, because it is the only U to UE stem changer. Now, there's a couple terms you need to know, including stem changer. So, verb and all of its associated meanings. So, verb, action word in the sentence. Infinitive is the original form of the verb before it has been changed. Conjugated, the verb has been changed to fit in the sentence and agree with the subject. There are two parts of the verb, the stem and the end. The end is the last two letters, AR, ER, or IR. The stem is all of those other letters. So in the verb hablar, for example, AR is in the end, and HABL are part of the stem. A subject pronoun is the subject of the sentence. Since it's a pronoun, it replaces the subject of the sentence. So instead of saying Maria, you would say ella. Instead of saying the boys, you would say ellos. Instead of saying me and Kim, you would say nosotros, and so on and so forth. Now, the new term that you need to know today is stem changer. And this means that this is a verb where, in addition to the end changing to agree with the subject, the stem of the verb, the first part, is also going to change. And we'll show that in a second. There are four types of stem changers. U to UE, which we're going over today, O to UE, and E's can go to IE, and other specific verbs go E just to I. And we're just talking about U to UE today. Now, you probably remember your steps of conjugating verbs from AR verbs and then regular ER and IR verbs. The first thing you need to do is cut off the end. So that AR, ER, or IR, take it away. You find the subject of the sentence, so is it I, is it the dog, is it the girls, whatever it is. But our new change is the stem, we have to change it if it's needed. It won't change all the time. We'll talk about that in a moment. And then you add the new end to the stem, just like before. So that's really the only new part, is that the stem will sometimes change. In this case, the U of the stem will change to a UE. So let's actually talk about that and start going through it. So we know that jugar means to play, and you can put whatever sport or whatever you're playing after that. So to play video games, jugar videojuegos. To play tennis, jugar al tenis. To play basketball, jugar al baloncesto. Hopefully you get the drift of that. But we're just going to start with jugar by itself. So first thing we do is cut off the end. So in all of these forms, that AR is going to drop right off. So that's our end. And this part right here is our stem. But jugar, in almost all of its forms, the U is going to actually change to UE. So instead of writing yo jugo, like you normally would, the U is actually going to change to UE. Jugo is actually the Spanish word for juice. So if you say yo jugo, you're saying I juice. Yo juego is I play. You play, we're going to take the U and change it to UE. And this is a regular AR verb otherwise, so o, as. You play, juegas. He, she, or you formal play. Again, O is going to UE. And then o, as, next ending a. He, she, or you formal play. We play. Nosotros jugamos. Now, in the nosotros form, nosotros and nosotras, the stem does not change. You treat it like a regular verb, give it the regular ending, and keep its original stem. So it's not juegamos, it's jugamos. Same thing for vosotros. Instead of juegáis, it's going to be jugáis. So if you have a subject pronoun, nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, or vosotras, it will be just like a regular verb. There's no stem change. Ellos se hacen ustedes do have a stem change. So we're going to take that U and change it to UE. And o, as, a, amos, ais, an. For they, boys, they, girls, or you all, plural, formal, play. Now, obviously, there's some patterns and some things you need to know, and we're going to do a little bit of practice. So you could see that in this one, this one, this one, and this one, your subject, or excuse me, your stem changed. The U changed to a UE. But here, it stayed the same. It didn't change. And if you kind of isolate these, a good way to remember which forms are conjugated with a stem change and which aren't is to remember that this actually looks sort of like a boot. And so a nickname for stem changers are boot verbs because it looks like, admittedly, an ugly boot. These two will never change. So a good visual for you to remember on a quiz or test would be to draw out the little verb conjugation chart and remind yourself that in nosotros and vosotros, there's no change. And remember the U goes to UE in all of the forms except nosotros and vosotros. So now we're going to practice a little bit. She plays volleyball. Subject pronoun for she is ella. To play volleyball is jugar al voleibol. Jugar al voleibol. I'm thinking the accent goes on the O, but I might be wrong, so check your vocab. So here's an infinitive, to play volleyball. Very first thing we need to do when conjugating is cut off the end. She plays is going to end in A, and because the subject is not one of the nosotros, vosotros, that U is going to change to UE. She plays volleyball. They play basketball. So there's two ways to say play basketball. First of all, let's start with they. Subject pronoun is ellos. The verb is jugar al, either baloncesto means basketball, and so does basketball. Not spelled exactly the same Spanish to English, and there's an accent. You can choose which one you want to do. So, since it's conjugated, we have to take off the AR. They play is going to end AN. And since the subject is not nos or vosotros, we are going to change that U to a UE. Ellos juegan al baloncesto or al basquetbol. Y'all play golf. So someone is talking to that person or the people, and they're saying you all. So the subject is going to be vosotros. To play golf is jugar al golf. First thing we're going to do, take our infinitive and change it. So the ending, vosotros jugáis. And is the subject nos or vosotros? Yes. So there is no stem change. It stays as it originally was, a U. Y'all play. Vosotros jugáis al golf. Last one. I like to play soccer. So first of all, we need to think what the action in the sentence is. Am I liking something, or am I actually playing something? So in this case, I'm liking, or playing soccer, remember, is pleasing to me. So we're going to start out with I like, or is pleasing to me, is me gusta. To play soccer is in infinitive, so we don't have to worry about the stem or the end. To do anything is infinitive. That means it's not changed. So the infinitive of to play soccer is jugar al fútbol. N does not change. The stem does not change. Nothing here changes because it's an infinitive. Playing soccer is pleasing to me. Please pause to copy these down. Obviously, they're in English. You are going to be translating into Spanish. Write the English first, then write it in Spanish. Remember, if you get like or love anything, you have to think backwards. What is pleasing to whom? And look at what the action actually is in that sentence.